Everybody, I'm Tammy with the Arizona Oral Health Coalition. You all know me. And today on our spotlight, we are highlighting Collette Barr, who is with the Arizona Healthcare Outreach. With
Hi.
nearly 3 decades of dental hygiene experience in general and periodontal care, Collette has dedicated her career to improving oral health while extending her passion for service beyond the clinic. For years, she has traveled abroad on annual or biannual dental missions, providing essential care to underserved communities. More than a passion, her work is a calling, one rooted in deep commitment to service, education, and sustainability healthcare solutions. In 2016, Collette learned about the struggles of refugees, many of them children, and felt compelled to act. Determined to provide care, she founded Arizona Healthcare Outreach in 2017. And this organization is dedicated to delivering dental services to refugees in Arizona. Thank you, Collette, for everything you do. I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself, about sharing your story, and where'd you grow up, and some fun fact about yourself, like a hobby that you like to do, and you know something about your 7 children, which I didn't know. So I'm going to let you take over from now.
Thank you. Hi, Tammy. I have been a hygienist for 30 years. I was raised in Salt Lake City, Utah, and moved down here almost 40 years ago. So it's been a long time. I do have 7 kids, 6 of them daughters. Pray for me. And I have 18 grandchildren and 6 bonus grandchildren. So I've got a lot of things going on. I'm currently working right now at East Valley Perio as a hygienist, and I work full time. Some of the fun things I like to do, I like to hike. I love to volunteer. I like to read. I like to go to movies. I like to do puzzles. Those are some of the fun things I love. So
That's that's amazing because I don't even know how you find the time, because I work full time and I'm like, wow, juggling all this stuff that I do. It's pretty
yeah.
crazy, but some of us hygienists, it's just in our stitch. So let's get into some questions. So what inspired you to start offering this free clinics? I mean, how long have you been dedicating your time and organizing all these valuable services? Tell me a little bit about the detail it takes and so forth.
Well, I just was sitting in a general conference for women at my church and minding my own business. And then the conference started and they introduced a referendum called Reach Out to Rescue. They talked about the plight of refugees. There were 68 million refugees at the time. There's over 100 million now. The refugees, half of them are being children. And it just kind of hit me. They encouraged us to do whatever we could to reach out and just lend a hand, be a friend, make their lives a little bit easier. Unfortunately, in our country, the refugees look a lot like terrorists. So they get a lot of pushback when they were terrorized in their own countries. To qualify for being a refugee, you have to have been actually terrorized in your own country. Unfortunately, the Ukrainians that we see, don't qualify for refugee status. So they're even in a worse plight than most refugees because they don't get any government assistance. In doing some research, I donated backpacks. I bought snacks for refugees, but it just didn't feel like I was doing much of anything. So I thought, well, what's my best gift? What do I do best? What's something unique that I can help refugees with that they really need? And believing that that world peace can become after scaling and root planing, I thought, why not? Why not improve their health outcomes? The oral systemic health link is stronger and stronger. And so I thought, why don't I go once a month to a refugee clinic and clean teeth? Why not? So I looked around and I asked around, and guess what? There is none. There are 0 in the
Yeah.
nation. So I was I got despondent for a little while. And one of my patients, Clinton Reiswig, who has graduated in his doctorate from the ASU School of Social Work, collaborated with me. He introduced me to some community leaders from different refugee camps, and we brought together a ground roots movement, and we started a dental clinic out of boxes with nothing, no funding. It was horrific. It was hard. It was hard, but I was compelled because in my discovery process, I found that refugees oftentimes will not go to get dental services, even if they've been referred. So where they end up is in the hospital, in the ER. In the ER, the taxpayer pays $500 to $3,000 for each visit for something that they can't triage completely and they can't fix. So they give them pain medications, antibiotics, and send them home, rinse and repeat. So it becomes difficult. Very few follow up on the referral sources because of language barriers, because transportation issues, because of cultural issues, because of their own value systems, because they are, in some cases, sadly, dentistry was used as a form of torture in their country. So it's not uncommon in the Middle East to have a tooth extracted that's perfectly good as a form of torture. So someone coming at them with loops and a mask on, continues the trauma, if that's the right word.
It brings it back to them. It brings them back to the first traumatic event that they had. Yeah, with it.
Yes. Yeah. So it started out really messy and hard. Some of our best volunteers were refugees themselves. They felt passionate. They felt like they could finally do something. A lot of pre-dental students from other countries whose whole family stability resided on their shoulders to get a degree. They came in and took over and ran with it. It was amazing to see. So, I feel like I live amongst giants, people who experienced things that I can't comprehend. I don't know the horrors of war. I don't. But everybody in this country is a refugee, has ancestry where we were maybe kicked out of a country, or we had a potato
famine.
We persecuted religiously, we got kicked out. So we're not that far removed from our roots, where we came from a country maybe unwillingly, or thinking that the streets here were paved with gold and it was going to be a much better life, and we ended up working on a railroad.
That's so true, because my lineage is the Spaniards into that northern New Mexico, and I recently did some of my ancestry and found out I was part of the PQD Pueblo, which is my grandmother was, from that. So there is Native American, and for many years we always just thought we were Spaniards, but turns out we have Native American, which makes sense. So, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about that, but how we come into this country and we're just a melting pot, and understanding other people's needs is extremely important to myself. That's why I work in community health. That's what I do, what I can. And what you do is amazing as well. I got some of my best hygiene experience working for a Persian dentist, where I was seeing patients that were coming in because he was Persian, he spoke Farsi, and they were coming from Iran as refugees. So, it's great work that you're doing. I really appreciate it. So do you have any individuals or families? Who are the individuals or families that benefit most from your clinics? Do you have a certain demographic? Are they Somali? Are they, right now in Arizona, or, what is it?
It comes in waves. So right now we have Afghanis. We have Russians next to the same chair that we have Ukrainians.
Wow.
It's,
live.
We still have people from the Middle East. Um,
Yeah.
that's, a war-torn place. The Congo is a hotbed of unrest. It has been for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some subgroups, but we've treated people who have had drug and alcohol problems. We've treated people who are veterans. We've treated people that are just down on their luck. So, while it's tailored for the uniqueness of being a refugee in that we have translation services, we have experiential opportunities for refugees' children, for advanced educational opportunities. It seems it's a little bit, it's been an interesting, undeniably, a wonderful ride that didn't take me the way I wanted to. I mean, I didn't really any of this, but it's wonderful to see people thriving, and it's wonderful to someone and not see a nationality or the trouble, but to see the pain in their eyes, and to, I've had pain in my life, and I can connect with them on that level,
Yeah. Yeah, you could reach out with a good words and so forth. I do have some Ukrainians always say, I'm sorry about what's happening in your country. I was trying to, yeah, because I have no idea. I've lived a very sheltered life. Like my partner always says, Tammy, you've had a sheltered life. And I agree. I've had a very good life, and thank God for that. So what are the most significant challenges you guys are encountering to keep this community and keep this thing going? Because this is why I want people to spotlight. Like I felt like this is my time to reach out to people like yourself and like last time Kay, just to find out what you guys need from the community so we can help you thrive and keep
Yes.
serving people.
Well, we have had $100,000 worth of donations from the community. However, one of our significant issues right now is the clinic has been locked up since April.
Why?
Because the landlord, a lot of funding has gone away for refugees, and the money is scarce. And we got in the middle of a lease dispute where the refugee community did not pay their bill, and so they're using our stuff as collateral. It's against the law. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And I've got sensors and laptops and operating systems and chairs and sterilization units and all the things locked up. So what some wonderful people in our community have been doing, Dr. Bharat Patel, who has a practice at Bell Road. He's also at ASDO as an instructor, along with his daughter, by the way. And he has opened up his office. So we're living in the lap of luxury right there.
Yeah.
And a real dental office. Dr. Patel has opened his heart and his practice for us to until 3. And people, dentists come in, they get continuing education if they want to, hygienists. We have dental assistants. We have expanded function dental assistants. We have front office people who are learning how to do that. We have students that are hoping to get into dental school, using it as a volunteer opportunity and a leadership position so that they can, kind of get in. So it's a huge collaboration still. We've been limited in what we can provide. We can't provide Crown and Bridge at this time, but we do have a dentist who's willing to open up his office for clinics to do crowns and mouths.
Wow.
Maybe even
yeah, that would be huge. That would be
Yes.
huge,
There's
just bringing the community together for
Yeah,
this.
there's
Yeah.
nothing like it. And, I'm not going to tell you his name so people don't
Don't
storm
worry.
and ask him for a free crown. But, he's a huge community leader. He comes once a month. A lot of them come once a month. Our biggest problem, honestly, is hygienists.
Oh, we need to
Yes.
get some hygienists to you.
Well, Tammy, hygienists are more biologically connected to their families than maybe dentists would be.
Because of our gender.
Or biology.
Yeah. Well,
Bio-
I know some hygienists that would volunteer, and I think it's just let's get the word out to maybe, hey, do some services because you have to for your licensure do some volunteering, right?
uh-huh.
So some of that could be out in the schools, and I could start maybe when we get, how about a thought about it like dental hygiene students, you
Yeah,
know.
that would be
So
great.
that's something that we can collaborate off this here, and yeah, I have some good ideas for the hygiene for you.
Okay,
So I think we can help you with that.
I would appreciate that.
So how often you said you're opening it once a month, or how often are the
What,
doors being open? Once or
one,
twice a month?
and usually on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a great collaboration that's happening. I think I'm signing the MOU tomorrow with Sahara. Sahara is a medical group that does not-for-profit. They do free medical care. They go out in the community and they do medical. They've been wanting to start a dental clinic. So I'm starting. They also have a lawyer that I'm hoping that will help us to get our stuff, which I will immediately send over to help them with their clinic. They don't know anything about dental. Dental is messy. It's expensive. One drop of
Huge.
bond. you know, don't spill a drop of bond.
Don't spill anything. It
No.
costs so much money. And that's the biggest cost even in the FQHCs is our dental practices.
Right. And don't get me started. Needles expire.
No, they
Needles
don't.
expire.
No, they don't.
They expire. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
there's,
You're not,
you know,
and just a disclaimer, you're not under that joint commission or anything like that. So you should be, because you're a free clinic. So, that's a little bit different.
yeah,
I'll cut that part out.
it right. Initially, my model was it was $20 for whatever you needed. And my thought was I wanted them to participate in their own healthcare. I wanted to bridge the gap between a refugee status and an active partner in a dental system, because there's no such thing as free anything. You have to pay a copay, even with insurance. You just do. So I was hoping to train refugees on how to assimilate into our medical and dental system. That is not Sahara's thing. They want it to be free. So,
Okay.
and going forward, it will be free. It's going to be free tomorrow at tomorrow's clinic. So they just haven't yet. I'm here to support them.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing. I think as time goes on, the need that we have, it should be something that we work towards getting more people involved in it. Even when you look at, communities like Dignity Health with their dental clinics, their dental hygiene clinics, individuals like that get the dental schools involved as well to help, because it's your refugee clinic, but there's also a need for access to care, and there's in the adult dental care world. So that is all going to kind of trickle together, I think, is what I foresee in the future. So let me ask you, what do you need from us members? Can you tell them, like, in a few words, like, that you want, if you were to say you're going to talk me into giving you $1 million to do this, what would you say to?
What I need your voice to spread the word. I need you to volunteer at the clinic in doing whatever you feel comfortable doing. Once a year, once a month, whenever. I want you to slow down when you come to our clinic. I want you to look people in the eye. I want you to have the feelings that I've had of kind of a brotherhood, sisterhood connection with people that I don't know. We're basically all the same. We all have challenges. Monetary help would be awesome. In-kind donations, whatever you got. We've only got one dental chair right now. If we don't get the rest of the dental chairs, the rest of the equipment, it's going to be significantly harder to run the clinic. And poor Dr. Patel, so you can adopt a refugee. That would be lovely. We can triage the refugee for you and send them to your office with whatever you're comfortable doing. You can go to Mexico with us. We go to Mexico twice a year. That's really fun. That's also something the Sahara does. So it will be a combined dental, medical, and vision clinic, nothing like it. So that's, it's one thing to help refugees. It's another one to help people in their own situations so that they don't feel the need to have to come over here because their lives are hard. So those are the things that we could use.
Do you have information that we can put on your post that would let us know how to, information when things are starting to come up, like when you're going to Mexico, if people are interested in going to Mexico, if people, because I know of a gentleman that goes to Mexico for prosthetics on amputees, and he's asked me if I wanted to go and just look at teeth and do what I could, and I said, it's going to take a long haul, but something that I would think about. I'd take my trailer down and maybe get a temporary chair and just do a couple cleanings on somebody, but so I would love to get any kind of information you have. We could you could send it to me once a month, and I could put it up in our newsletter so people know that, hey, this event's coming up, so they can volunteer for. I think it's being ahead of things as opposed to putting it out when we just need it at the second. If we can give people time to schedule, sometimes that makes it better for everybody. And then I got one final question for you. I want you to tell me your most memorable experience you had, something that made you feel like, man, because I know I've had some in my life that I never forget, ever.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me something that maybe brought you to tears, or you're just like, I got to do something about this. Sorry.
Only one.
I'm so sorry. I'm over here tearing up myself. Yeah.
Come on, Tammy.
Well, I mean, but the most memorable, because there's one that I just remember when I was first starting at Mountain Park, and this poor little girl, I just looked at her shoes and I was like, I started carrying shoes in my car because I know there was no funding for shoes, and the mom dressed her up as best she could and her shoes were just bad, and it just killed me. So little stuff like that, you have a story to tell me?
Well, I will tell you one, since you're limiting me.
Oh, you can tell me too. I don't mind as many as you want.
Early on, we had Aseptico delivery systems on the tripods. That's all we had. Mickey Banks gave me a lot of stuff. Dr. Bora, a periodontist, came in, and he looked stressed out when he came up to me, and he said, I can't do this. I can't do this. I said, oh my gosh. Sorry, just a second.
Oh, I don't hear you. Wait, you can't hear you. Are you muted? What happened? I can't hear you anymore. Hey, Collette, I can't hear you.
He said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I said, please stay. He said, no, you don't understand. With tears in his eyes, he said, I can't. He said, this young girl is 14. She is from Ethiopia. She's regal looking. She has this long, beautiful, regal neck, posture, excellent. But she doesn't speak English. She's a lot taller than the kids. She's only 14. She's in junior high, and kids are mean. And so they were making fun of her. She wouldn't smile because she had dental hypoplasia,
Oh,
poor nutrition.
yeah.
He said, I need to take her. And he and Dr. Luat did a full reconstructive case on her. And when I saw her next, she couldn't stop smiling. So, that was an extraordinary moment, because Dr. Bora and Dr. Luat probably spent $20,000 of their own money, for one little girl because he couldn't stand it. That's what I get to see. I just give a little bit. I don't have $20,000, not
Yeah,
for
but you
this.
have time. You have time. You
I
have
don't.
compassion. You have that time, that compassion that
I
you
have,
have is huge.
I have what I have, but in combination with other people, it becomes bigger and synergistically bigger. Do you know what I mean? Exponentially bigger
Yeah,
than, and it's wonderful to see that. So that's what I got. That's
yeah.
my one story.
Oh, you have a bazillion, but there's just always these stories that just I don't care. I always say, like, I talk to my mom, and my mom's like, you used to say when you became a hygienist, you want to take care of everybody's teeth. You felt everybody needed good teeth, and I feel like when I'm here at NOAA, or even on the other place that I work at, that I feel like what I do for the community, and I give them the best cleaning possible. I don't just capture on them. I actually take the time to teach them how to brush their teeth, because they don't know. And all that there just makes me feel good
Yeah.
when I have a little kid that hugs me, or a special needs child that the parents like, man, I can't believe you were able to get them their teeth clean because they were special needs. So, what you do is amazing. I'm very impressed. I barely heard about your clinic recently, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So everything you're doing is very great. I
Thank you.
appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And if there's any way we can ever support you, you just reach out
Thanks.
to me, and I'll blast it. I'll blast it on social media. I mean, people are people, and we all need help.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And you know what? The refugees appreciate it. They do. They
yeah,
do. They appreciate the kindness. Just a little
yeah,
bit of kindness is good.
yeah. Do you have anything, pictures you want to send? I could put on this here. I could add to this pictures here of some of the refugees you've treated, if you like, if you want, or you don't have to.
I can, but I don't have them here. I'll have to
Okay.
dig them up from the archives.